We're going to do episode 20 of the Geek Perspective. I am your host, Roy. And today's show, we are discussing the banana split. So what did you guys think of the movie?
I was pleasantly surprised by it.
Really?
Yes.
That's not what you told me at work.
I think this is the best one that
And
we
by the way,
watched
it's
all week.
episode 21. I had the wrong page on. It's episode 21. Can you believe that, guys?
If it makes you feel any better, it's not even my 20th on the show because I missed like 3 of them.
I missed like a bunch of them. Doing all his stuff.
Damn you, John Hankey, and your damn Pokemans.
So, Derek, what have you been up to? We haven't talked to you forever.
A lot of work this week. I think I put in 50 hours. And I think the last time I missed was because of a Pokemon thing. If I remember correctly. Yeah, the Pokemon Raid Day. I got 5 shinies of it.
Okay. Me and Roy, you're like, okay.
I do have something planned for like when we do an episode that's not a review.
Cool.
Because I've recorded 2 of the last Pokemon tournaments I did remotely, so I'm gonna figure out how to get them green.
Much better. Much better.
This is good. I don't have a monitor anymore. My monitor has been taken away.
Well, I mean, honestly, at this point,
you have a monitor every week.
At this point, it's probably better with all the audio issues we have implementing other devices and stuff. I mean, God, like I said, me and Roy, literally 2 minutes before you walked in, resolved the audio issue.
One thing I'm learning is that, like, the issues that you had, it's from feedback from something in the computer. And when you have echo, that's one thing I do know now. The problem is finding and fixing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But my buddy Steve, who requested this review, by the way, thank you, Steve C., for the request of the Banana Splits movie review. By the way, Steve, we already did the Fly review. Check it out later if you haven't seen it already. But he said to check out latency on our, I don't know if we meant the mixer or something, but figure that out. I don't know how you check the latency on the mixer. But I'm not talking about that. But have you guys watched anything good lately besides the amazing Banana Splits movie?
Well, I mean, the Banana Splits movie was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. God, I'm glad. Thank you. What was his name again? Steve. I was about to say Nate. Yeah, that was a great movie. Yeah, I actually what there was something I was watching and I wanted to ask you, Roy, if you watched it, and I can't think. I'll think of it as we go on. But God, that's bothering me. Huh.
All right. Well, you have to think about that. I want to let everyone know, hit the like button so you actually stay up to date on all our content. Ring that little bell. Subscribe, share the video, make comments below. Let us know what you guys want us to review. You guys can review it for you guys. And they'll even suggest new content. If you want, just come and say hey.
That's like a 5-minute conversation if someone just says hey.
Yeah, it sure is. With us. So my buddy's daughter said, you have to discuss this on the show tomorrow. No matter if you're doing a movie review. And I said, okay. So what do you guys think about Spider-Man leaving Marvel?
Oh, see, I just talked to you about this at work yesterday or the day before.
Yes, you did. It's crazy. It's insane.
Well, it just sucks like he's leaving like the cinematic universe.
Yes.
But I did see...
He's making movies still. 2 more movies coming out.
I did see something on Facebook yesterday. I don't think I shared the link, unfortunately. But there was a rumor that Disney is making a 7-movie, trying to get like a meet with Sony again for a 7-movie but thing with Spider-Man. They're trying to make another deal.
There's too much money to be made. They'll come up with something at some point.
They said this time Marvel was offering 20% less. Instead of the 50% split, maybe they would do 30%.
Well, there were rumors that wasn't even true.
Yeah, that's why this is all rumors.
Those rumors that it wasn't even true.
That's probably the reason why I didn't want to share it, because it was just rumors and it wasn't confirmed.
Well, I have a statement here from Sony.
Cool.
And it says, now this is from Sony's point of view, so this is, take it for what it's worth. Much of today's news about Spider-Man has been mischaracterized, recent discussions about Kevin Feige's involvement in the franchise. We are disappointed, but respect Disney's decision to have him not to have him continue as lead producer of our next live-action Spider-Man film. We hope this may change in the future. Hint, hint. But understand that the many new responsibilities that Disney has given him, including all the newly added Marvel properties, do not allow time for him to work on IP they do not own. Kevin is terrific, and we are grateful for his help and guidance and appreciate the path he has helped put us in, which we will continue. The article to me, it's like, well, does Sony really need Kevin Feige? Like, why can't they still work together without Kevin Feige? It sounds like they got pissy because Disney wouldn't let them use Kevin Feige. That's what I'm getting out of the story. What do you guys think?
I've been following it. I don't know. Is that how you say his name? Been wondering how you say his name. Is it Fergie? I always thought it was Kevin Feige. I never knew how. I always read that name. I was like, that's a weird name.
So I started saying it. I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know. If anyone knows, let us know.
I would have just took Fergie because that's how it looks like Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas.
Right. I didn't know that there was an R in it. I thought it was Feige. Kevin, I don't know. Just weird thing. Anyway,
I think it's all the money.
Yeah.
Well, because the first article I read said it was like a 50-50 split, and I think that was the original.
Well, there was some reports that Disney wanted a 50-50 stake in the financing, and another report was they wanted 25%. So, I mean, this is not over. They can still reach a deal. I would be shocked within a year if they're not back together working on Spider-Man. There's just way too much money to be made.
I agree. Greediness is going to prevail in the end. I think. I feel like it's a lot of guys trying to flex their muscles and stuff, and we'll see. Me personally, my thoughts. It's just I'm just so tired. Like, there's been so many Spider-Man movies that it's like a non-issue for me right now. But in a couple of years, if there's not another Spider-Man movie, then I'll be complaining, and so I understand.
They're making 2 more films. They've already got that lined up already.
Okay.
But the thing of it is, though, at this point, does it really matter that Marvel doesn't have Spider-Man? The Avengers aren't coming out anytime soon.
Yeah.
No plan for an Avengers movie next few years.
Like, this is my thing. Like, Marvel technically owns the right to Spider-Man.
No, you don't.
No, like the Spider-Man, like the comics and everything.
No, you don't.
Sony doesn't. They own everything to do with Spider-Man.
They own the movie rights.
Yeah, I'm not saying the movie rights.
He was saying comic book.
Well, they're not writing comic books. They're making movies.
But I'm just saying, like, why can't they just make another Spider-Man movie? Who cares?
They can't. Sony owns the rights.
Stupid.
Well, you tell the lawyers that.
Well, you know what? I know Fox had the movie rights for X-Men, but they still managed to put Quicksilver in there. They just didn't call him Quicksilver.
Maybe we're not calling him Spider-Man.
We'll just call him Night Monkey.
Well, I mean, yeah, they have done to Derek's point. There are works around. I mean, I don't see them doing it because it's Spider-Man, but another show they did it on was
workaround for Spider-Man. Either one of them. No workaround. I was saying I don't think it will happen, but there are workarounds, like Derek was saying. There's that show with where it's all like Magneto's daughter and there were no workarounds for Spider-Man is what I'm saying. There are workarounds for stuff, but there's no workaround.
You can't say that there's plenty. But my question is, so yeah, like Derek said, call him Night Monkey. I mean, people are a lot more clever in Hollywood than me and you. You know what I mean? If there's a workaround to find it, they would. I don't think they're gonna, right? I'm not arguing that. I'm just.
I would have you in charge of Hollywood. There are a lot of people there. Believe me.
I'm just lending credence to his. Now, my question though. So like Derek was saying, Sony has all the rights to the movies and everything like that. But Marvel has like the comic book rights. So what would happen in like animated feature? Is that still to Sony, or I mean, I just don't know. I'm seriously curious.
We should look into that because they just did that Into the Spider-Verse. We
Right.
should look and see who produced
Well,
that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I was wondering. Like, I wonder if they could use a different Spider-Man, or do they own all the Spider-Men? Like, you know what I mean?
We'll see. That's what happens every time there's a reboot. Because I don't think Sony did Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and I don't think they did the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah,
But I
honestly
think
don't know.
everyone's gonna like. I think there'd be like a riot if it's not Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU.
Well, I was thinking like, do they own like the name Spider-Man? So like they couldn't do Miles Morales, for instance,
Yeah.
and say he's come and say that. Yeah, I'm trying to prove your point for you guys. But actually, what I'm trying to do here. Say
It wasn't my point. I was just lending credence that
yeah.
it's
No, but
I don't think they're gonna do it.
just saying that like you know the snap. So we get a different Spider-Man from a different universe. It'll never happen.
We're
But
gonna get that.
that would be interesting.
We'll get that Asian spider robot.
Derek would love that. Derek would be in heaven.
Speaking of, I sent it to you, just a little off topic, that they're doing a He-Man anime, and then Derek said, "I've never seen He-Man." I was like, "What? What?" I was at work. I had to stop. I was just like, "What?" like I stopped dead in my tracks. What I was doing at work stopped to text him. I was just like, "This is insanity."
So we had to pick up put the heavy stuff down, pick out his phone, text you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm driving a forklift, and you know, it's
He crashed a forklift. Way to go, Derek.
Man, I was almost indirectly responsible for an accident at work.
Tom almost had more time off.
yeah, seriously. I was like, who hasn't seen He-Man?
Right.
What the hell? What? Jeez.
I mean, I've probably seen like an episode here or there, but like I've never like watched it.
It's not anime, so we
a-
can't watch it. It's not allowed to.
No, that's true. But they're making an anime He-Man. Well, oh god.
Is all your family Asian?
Huh?
Is all your family Asian?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just a question. But yeah, back to the whole Spider-Man thing. I think they'll come up with a deal. They have to.
Right.
It'll happen at some point. But again, you know, you have all these fans were threatening to crash Sony Studios or something like that, trying to rush them and make them do a Spider. It's like, really, there's not going to be a Marvel movie for years, so it doesn't really matter. They have plenty of time to work something out.
Yes.
By looking at your notes on the monitor, I can tell I can add this safely because I don't know if you've seen this article, but apparently Stan Lee's daughter has sided with Sony.
Yes.
She is. It says Disney treated Stan like crap.
And Marvel too, apparently.
And my point is, who cares?
I mean, that has nothing to do with the argument of the split. But I mean, like,
but I know what you're talking about. It was like, what do I care? I don't know her from Adam. Yeah, I heard that too. I think Disney treats everyone like crap.
Yeah, Disney's the devil.
I've known people that worked at Disney World, and their employees are treated like crap. It's horrible. They're horrible people.
Yeah.
A friend that's got a job down there, she posts stuff every day and she looks happy down there. Could
See,
be an exception to the rule, but I don't know.
I had a friend in college. He's homosexual, and he worked down there. He said it was the most awful work environment for people in the LGBT. This was years ago. Now we're going back to the early. I've heard it's still bad for them, but people in back then I think it was just LGBT because we're going, like I said, it was early 2000s. Now it's the Q+. But he said the work environment for people that were homosexual was atrocious. It was so he worked in stores. He worked as a character, and he said they were awful people.
Yeah,
awful
people. A friend of mine worked as a character, and she said that the bosses on it were just asses.
Yeah.
The people were fun to work with, and that was the best part of it. And she did it a few years, but after a while, she's like, "Nope, I'm done."
Yeah.
You know. But enough of that. We're here to review the amazing Banana Splits movie. And did you guys know it actually got released on July 18th? I didn't know.
I didn't know that. I knew it was recent because I mean it's when you go on the link, 2019. So, but God, I mean it makes sense. It was a great film. Great film.
At San Diego Comic-Con, it got released.
Really?
Yep, and then it went right to digital on August 13th, and then released on DVD and Blu-ray on the 27th. Well, will be released.
Yeah. It makes sense it wouldn't go to theaters. Though. It wasn't like that big of a movie, but it's still pretty good.
We'll get into that a little bit. What's that, Tom?
I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying, Derek, but I still think it could have had a theater run. I thought it was good enough to, you know what I mean? It's not like I don't think it would have been nothing's in the theaters very long. I mean, Endgame you can get on Blu-ray now already. But so nothing's in the theaters like it used to be. Me and Roy were talking about last week how it used to be like a year. You'd have to wait a year after a movie was released to get it on video or, you know what I mean, on something like that. But I forgot what I was saying.
It had a runtime of 86 minutes. It was a pretty quick film. And I just want to give a little rundown of what the original Banana Splits was, but I don't know if you guys ever saw it. I know you did. It was an hour-long variety program, and it had the Banana Splits. They were a fictional rock band. And if you see the movie, you know the names already, but for people out there who don't know, the names were Fleagle, who was like a beagle, and Bingo was an ape, and Drooper was a lion, Snorky was an elephant. My favorite was Snorky growing up, I have to admit. Well, I was a Snorky kind of guy. And so it gets you to know, I just want to let everyone know that. But the Banana Splits was basically a kid's show.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard it was going to be a horror movie, I was kind of like, what the hell are you thinking? So basically, the premise of the movie, a kid and his family attend the taping of the Banana Splits TV show for his birthday, and which is supposed to be a fun, happy time. And for the kids and the parents that were there, things don't go as planned, and essentially the body count rises, as you see during the movie. So, yeah, it is what it is. The Banana Splits snap, and animatronics go crazy and start killing people, whacking people. Now, we kind of already discussed this, but what did each of you actually think of the film itself? Derek?
Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. But what I meant by that was like the story was actually really well, and the acting was for that kind of a movie. Like I thought it was great.
It was better than you would think.
Yeah.
But I have my own notes about that. But what about you, Tom?
I was pleasantly surprised. I thoroughly I enjoyed it. It was a very fun film, in my opinion. It's not a film that it's gonna knock your socks off and be like, oh my god, that's an Oscar contender or anything like that, or gonna win a bunch of awards or anything. It's just a fun. Roy already mentioned that it was a quick film. It went very quick. I thought it was fun. It was well done. The acting was fine. I had a fun time. Honestly, of all our reviews so far of all the movies, this was probably my favorite of all of them we've done. So I really liked it.
I had a love-hate relationship with this film. I thought the murder scenes were pretty bad. I have to admit. But I'll get into that as we keep talking. Now, what did you guys think at the beginning of the movie when they were in the kitchen? They were giving the kid gifts. They give them that big stick with a spear at the end of it.
Yeah,
it looked like a weapon. Like, what was up with that?
Well, like based on what we know now since we've seen the movie, it's basically a foreshadow.
Yeah, and you kind of knew that right when it was happening because, like Roy said, that's a weird gift to give to a kid, right? I'm glad you brought that up because I thought the same thing. I was just like, huh, like I could see that when me and Roy were kids because I mean they like we got gifts like M80s and sticks of dynamite back then because they didn't there was no bike helmets and seat belts and shit like that like when we were kids, so I could see it back then. But like nowadays, I mean, I thought it was. I'm glad you brought it up because but it was very telling.
But it's just funny because like the brother's like, oh, here, your other one broke, so here's a new one. And it was like,
yeah.
What happened to the other one?
And who'd you kill to break the other one? And one thing I thought was pretty cool was when Drooper was being charged, and the old guy was there with him, and they zoom in on his face. I thought it was kind of creepy. Like,
yeah.
movies don't creep me out, but looking at his face, I was like, "Holy Jesus!" It kind of creeped me out a little bit. You remember what I'm talking about?
Did it ruin your childhood when they did that?
Yes, it did. It was just messed it up. Now, special effects. I thought the special effects were pretty bad. I don't know how you guys thought about it. Like with the death scene where they got poked, the dude got poked in the eyes with the two drumsticks. It was like it just looked pretty bad.
I could think of worse graphics, but you'd say, "Oh, it's a cult classic," so then you let it bypass the same thing.
He's gonna bring up pod zombies. You're crazy. You're crazy.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, Roy. That the special effects weren't top notch. But one thing I'll do, especially with horror and certainly not like high budget horror. Like when I say high budget, I'm thinking Saw, Annabelle, stuff like franchise type horror. But for like kind of lower budget, but still like not like super low budget, I had tendency to look the other way when a lot of times with special effects. That's just me personally.
And I don't want people to think I meant that in a bad way. I like bad special effects. In the 80s, most of the great 80s horror movies had bad special effects.
Yeah.
And I think to this day, that's why they're so great.
But that's also like technology. That's all they could do. And
right.
Yes.
And then you had the like the bad, like this movie essentially to me is a classic example of an 80s horror movie.
Yeah.
The bad one line is the bad special effects. We're gonna say, Tom?
Yeah, like the body horror, you know what I mean? Just it had elements of like a lot of 80s horror in like I know people break horror into like subgenres now, and I feel like it touched quite a few of those subgenres, you know what I mean? So I agree with you, Roy, 100%.
Like you have that the bad one lines in the movie.
Yep.
You remember like with the black girl, she said like, "This is a messed up stuff right here," and that little girl was the actress, and she was all like I can't remember what she said. She said something like really dorky, and then at the end of the movie, she asked her mother if she can quit acting classes.
Yeah,
that's all that was happening.
That's what
I thought that was funny. I thought that was like that. To me, that was the best part of the film. I was like, "That's awesome." Can I quit acting classes now?
I don't know if this was me, but it was just me that thought this. But like when they went up for the tour of the studio, and like they broke off, I'm like, this kind of feels like Willy Wonka, but instead of like some silly random stuff and Oompa Loompas coming out, someone's just gonna be in a body bag.
It was kind of like that, yeah.
That's a great comparison, actually, dude. That's awesome.
That works perfectly because I'll just put off. Like who does that? Let's just take off. Like again, 80s horror. Back in the 80s, we just did whatever we wanted to.
Yeah.
In the 80s, I could ride my bike in the woods. What?
Yeah.
Now you go in the woods, you might never come out.
You don't know what's going to take you either.
Exactly. So on 1 to 5 bananas, what do you guys give the film? 1 to 5.
I'm going to give it 4 bananas.
4 bananas. Holy Jesus. How about you, Thomas?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a strong 4 bananas.
Wow. I'm going to give it a 3.5 bananas. A little less than you guys is because I remember as a comedy, funny little show, and I just couldn't get past that. But again, I will watch this movie again though, because this time I was watching it being objective, but I want to see it from the fan side of growing up watching the banana splits and all that stuff. So I will definitely watch it again. So I'll give you guys an update on what I think of the movie. You guys have any last words for the fans?
No, I'm good.
Nah, just the tra la la la
la la la
la. Yeah.
That is the greatest song ever, though. Just the kung fu fighting. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Comment on this video. Let us know what you want us to review. We can review it for you. For Tom, Dirk, and myself, have a great geeky day.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.